Hey everyone, Happy New Year. We are excited. We are celebrating the end of an amazing 2023 year. This is day 365, and we are looking back on some of the amazing things God has done in our lives. And I was reminded of a recent social media post by a good friend of mine, Bishop Walker. He had talked about the story of a man who was attempting to climb some stairs. And when he attempted to climb these stairs, he had gotten to a point where his body was tired, it was weak, and he didn't know what he was going to do or if he was going to continue. But then something told him to turn around and look down at how far he had gone. And it was a reminder for him when he felt like quitting to look back and realize how far he had walked up those stairs. And it's a reminder to us. On January 1st, 2023, many of us were in a different position, whether it was financially, whether it was spiritually, physically, emotionally. And now look at where we are on December 31st, 2023, as we get ready to go into a new year. And God gives us a reminder of that in His Word. And I want to just take a few moments to share that with you this evening. And in the book of Numbers, God talks about instructions that He had for His people as they were going through the Exodus and preparing themselves for the challenges they have to face. But God also wanted to give them a reminder that it's okay to celebrate. And so I wanted to share that with you for just a few moments. And in the book of Numbers, and it's in chapter 10, verse 8, and He's given them instructions on what they are to do with the trumpets, Moses and his people. And He says, "But when you call the priests to an assembly, blow the trumpets with a different signal. Only the priests and descendants are allowed to blow the trumpets. This is a permanent law for you, to be observed from generation to generation." Verse 9, "When you arrive in your own land and go to war against your enemies who attack you, sound the alarm with the trumpets. Then the Lord your God will remember you and rescue you from your enemies." That means they were still going to go through some things, yet God wanted to remind them in His Word that He was always going to be with them, even when they were being persecuted with their enemies. Verse 10, "Blow the trumpets in times of gladness too. Sound them at your annual festivals in the beginning of each month, and blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and peace offerings. The trumpets will remind the Lord your God of His covenant with you. I am the Lord your God." And so what God is reminding us in this word is that they are to celebrate even in the challenging times. So often we get caught up on creating resolutions. We get so caught up in, these goals we want to accomplish for our lives. Where do we want to be, 5, 10, 15, 20 years out? And those goals are great. It's great to have those human goals, but in order to get there, we have to take it step by step. I'm reminded of that as I've gone through school myself and things I wanted to do in my own life. And what reminded me of that was to go through every assignment. Not to think about the end of the destination, but to go through every assignment, every day, every homework, no matter how tired I was in my body or I was busy with so many other things, and to continue doing that process. It's just like when running. I am a runner, and so one of the things I would do is when I first started to run, I first started by going maybe half a mile or a quarter of a mile. Take little baby steps to go. And then as time went on, because I wanted to accomplish a 10-miler, what I was able to do was, when I did the practice, I would look back and say, wow, look how far I came. Look how far I made it. So when I would get to that 7th, 8th mile range and everything in my body is saying, John, you got to quit. You can't. You've hit the wall. I look back and say, wow, look how far I've gone. Now look how far I got to go. But you take it one step at a time. Many of you, maybe in 2023, you started something new. You had a new goal in mind. Maybe it was to get a new job. Maybe it was to move to a new location, or you start a business, or just to grow spiritually. And sometimes we get frustrated because we expect that goal to happen so quickly. But God reminds us to run this race with patience. Run this race step by step. He encourages us to do so. It doesn't mean we're not going to have challenges, trials, and tribulations along the way. I think about often when I'm talking with people about Jesus and people I've talked to for years about Jesus. And one of the things that we have is, in our own human mindset sometimes, is this experience of, well, if they don't accept Jesus right then and there, then why am I going to start to begin with? But we're reminded constantly, to pray without ceasing, to continue sowing seeds. God will receive the harvest if we just continue to give word by word, encouragement by encouragement, prayer by prayer, being there, being a listening ear. And in due season, God will reap the harvest. He will receive the glory. It's not on man's schedule. We are just but a moment in time for His glory to be received. But to be there. And one of the things I want to encourage you in 2024 is look back on what God has done in our lives. No, we haven't gotten all the way there yet, but we're not where we used to be. And this is in all phases. And so we want to be reminded of the wonderful things God has done for us. Just like He was saying here in His Word, that even in those situations where we see these challenges, we can go to our God. We can pray before Him. He will hear our cry. He will attend unto us. Because we know our God is with us. We know that He's going to always take care of His children. But He's reminding us of what He formed us for, this glorious purpose, that He be glorified. As representatives of His kingdom, we're given a unique and special opportunity as we get ready to go into 2024. And whatever that may be God has designed for you, be reminded that every step is closer and closer to the goal. Not that we personally simply benefit from it, but most importantly, we can point people to Jesus, who is the author and finisher of our faith. So remind everyone this evening, as we get ready for a new year of promise, a new year of hope. For many, a year of growth. And for many, there will be challenges. But greater is He that is in us than he that is in the world. And in those times of struggle, in those times of challenge, let us go to Him, trust in Him, and take it step by step. Whether you are just starting in your journey, many of you may be preparing yourselves to go into a world that can seem a little uneasy at times. He reminds us that He's there with us. And for many of us, we've gone through years of challenges, years of experience. God is reminding you, look how far I brought you. He wants us to be reminded of that. So let us celebrate. Take some time to celebrate Him. Take some time to celebrate what He has done in our lives. And in all those things, He will receive the glory, power, and dominion, now, forever, and ever. God bless you.